Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a big week packed with exciting stuff, lots of great books to talk about. Try and get through as many of them as I can. Always like to say it's a big week for this guy. This is Batman number 24, first issue of the next story arc. I never really need to talk too much about Batman. It's already on your list. Everybody's already picking this book up. I'm a big fan of the Batman-Catwoman romance we see from time to time, so that looks like a good one. Make sure you check out the Tim Sale B covers to Batman, because long Halloween artist Tim Sale is an all-time great. This is Dark Knight 3, number 9, your last issue of Master Race. Can't say enough about this book. Great to see Frank Miller get his whole thing back on track. Love me some Miller Batman, as everybody does. Again, this one's probably on your list, but it's been running a little late since issue number 1, so folks may not know that this one's out, but here it is. Come get it. Great stuff there. We should have all the issues in a Black Cat pack if you've been skipping out on that one. Nightwing, one of my favorite Bat books and one of my favorite DC characters in general. This book's been top-notch. Harley Quinn, also can't say enough about that one. This one has Paul Dini backups, just so's you knows. And Bane Conquest, number 2, rounds out your Bat stuff for the week. Love me some Bane, love me some Chuck Dixon. If you don't know who Chuck Dixon is, you owe it to yourself to do a little Googling and grab some back issues of anything from that guy. Superman, your latest issue. One of the biggest books DC has. This one and Action Comics. Been encouraging you guys to check out the super stuff if you've been holding out, because they've been really good. And my man Steve Trevor gets his own book this week. No big surprise. The Dude in Distress gets his own title. Of course, it co-stars your favorite Amazon right there. Can't say enough about Wonder Woman these days. Speaking of Wonder Woman, there she is on the cover of Justice League. Another one of the biggest books DC has. Another one of the biggest books in comics. Another one I'm always encouraging you guys to check out, but I don't really need to, because again, that one's probably already on your list. Green Arrow, another one of my favorite DC guys, along with Green Lanterns. Check out all your favorites, unless you're a Hal guy like me. There's all of them right there. Everybody loves some Guy Gardner. Deathstroke. Can't say enough about this Eisner-nominated book. This is your epilogue to the whole contract stuff that's been going on with Titans and Deathstroke. Good stuff there. Aquaman. This is the conclusion issue to what will be Volume 3. We've got Black Cat packs for all 3 volumes of Aquaman if you've been one of the holdouts. Again, I'm encouraging you guys to check this book out. One of the more solid Rebirth titles. Cyborg, speaking of solid Rebirth title. And Fall and Rise of Captain Atom. It's your last issue of this guy. That about rounds out your DC proper stuff, but there's always more DC to talk about, like Injustice 2, your video game tie-in book of the week, or DC Bombshells. This one might be flying under your radar, but this book's a whole lot of fun. This one's got Lois Lane. What's cooler than Lois Lane? Flintstones is your Hanna-Barbera book of the week. Again, been encouraging you guys to check out the Hanna-Barbera stuff DC's been rolling out. This one's a lot of fun. Might not be what you expect from the Flintstones. Shade the Changing Girl is your Young Animal book. And Savage Things is your Vertigo book of the week. As I say, there's always much more DC stuff to check out than just the Rebirth stuff. So if you're only aware of their superhero books, go to the website and check out all the other awesome things brought to you by the nice folks at DC Comics. Huge week for the Marvel guys, like 20-something books. Let's talk a little Secret Empire. This is Brave New World number 1. That's my man Namor the Submariner there on the cover. We'll see him taking little fisticuffs to my man Steve Rogers. X-Men Gold, one of the biggest books in comics. This X-Men relaunch stuff has been huge. Personally, I'm very happy to see the positive response to this book, to X-Men Blue, Weapon X, Generation X, all the other stuff that they're rolling out. great to see the X-Men getting back on top of comics, because that's where they deserve to be. Cool Sentinel cover there. Iceman is your other X book of the week. This one's spinning out of X-Men Blue. I've been a big fan of what they're doing with X-Men Blue and the original X-Men stuff. It's good fun. All new Guardians of the Galaxy. Not too many things bigger these days than Guardians of the Galaxy. That's why there's this one and Rocket, because that little trash panda deserves his own title. Great stuff. And Nova rounds out your outer space goodness from Marvel this week. Dig me some Nova. Amazing Spider-Man taking on Norman Osborn. Nothing more classic than Spidey taking on Norman Osborn. These great Alex Ross covers. Can't say enough about Amazing Spider-Man. Much like Batman, this one's probably already on your list, and you're probably already looking forward to it. But there it is. Come get it. Great stuff. And speaking of those Alex Ross covers, here's your latest Avengers with Infamous Doom there. Very cool stuff. Everybody knows I'm a big Avengers fan. Spider-Man and Spider-Man Deadpool rounds out your Spidey books of the week. Everybody's been digging this Spider-Man Deadpool book. This is the last issue with McGinnis art, unfortunately. But fun stuff there. Big week for this guy. Here's your latest issue of Daredevil. Can't say enough about this one. You know, I'm always saying Daredevil is one of the best books Marvel has. It's been one of the best books Marvel has for decades. Everybody should be checking out Daredevil. That's great stuff. This is your last issue of Bullseye, the 5-issue mini that's been running alongside Daredevil. All this running with the devil stuff. Iron Fist, another book I'm super into. And Jessica Jones makes it almost a sweep with your Netflix titles if we had a Luke Cage one here for you. Can't say enough about Iron Fist. Can't say enough about Jessica Jones. Stuff has been really, really solid. So grab those first issues and see what all the buzz is about. Speaking of buzz, Doctor Strange. This is number 20, even though you got number 21 last week. They kind of went a little bit out of order so you could get that Secret Empire tie-in. Another book I've really been encouraging you guys to pick up. Really stoked to see the popularity of this character rising since his movie came out. So I'm a long-time Doctor Strange fan. One of the better characters in all of comics. Speaking of great characters, Black Bolt number 2. This book is kind of out there, really different from everything else that's going on these days. Maybe something a little bit like what they're doing in Thanos. If you're looking for something new, fun, and interesting, grab Black Bolt number 1. Grab this week's number 2. Treat yourself to something unusual. Champions. Looking for a segue there, but not much to do with Black Bolt. Not necessarily out there or unusual, but this book is a whole lot of fun. Everybody's digging some totally awesome Hulk. Let's talk about Hawkeye. Speaking of some new titles with your young generation heroes, look at this cover. That is just so super awesome. Very, very cool Disney-esque kind of thing going on there. It's been a really popular title as well. Unstoppable Wasp rounds out your Marvel stuff for the week. Another one that's been flying under your radar, but it's been a whole lot of fun. So again, if you're looking for something a little different, pick up some Unstoppable Wasp. Darth Vader gets a new series this week, new number 1. This does not follow up from the previous series. They jump into a different point in the timeline. Don't want to spoil anything for you, but I can't say enough of what a great job Marvel's been doing with all this Star Wars stuff. Everybody loves some Darth Vader. Guy definitely deserves his own book. The last series was super popular, totally sold out. So you want to grab the trades if you missed any of that, and grab this latest one. And Rogue One, number 3, rounds out your Marvel stuff for the week. Everybody loves a good movie adaptation. And what a fantastic week for the other guys. Can't say enough about the indie books this week. Baltimore, number 5 of 5, rounds out your latest Mike Mignola mini-series for the week. You know, I'm always talking up this guy. Baltimore isn't necessarily Hellboy related, but it's just as creepy cool as all the other Mike Mignola goodness. And Predator gets a new issue this week as well. Again, can't say enough about what a great job they do with Alien and Predator and all that good stuff. Dark Horse sort of invented the awesome licensed property comic Great stuff. And a fantastic week for Image. Let's just roll through some of the hottest Image books, some of the biggest books in comics. Here's the latest issue of Walking Dead. I can't say enough about that. Again, this one's probably on your list and doesn't need me talking too much about it. How about Paper Girls? This is a book that I can't keep in stock, along with Monstrous and a ton of other new books that Image has been rolling out. Everybody's into Paper Girls. Everybody's into Reborn. This is your latest issue of Reborn from Mark Millar. Can't say enough about that guy. Can't say enough about this title. It's another one that I can't keep in stock. They've done multiple printings on that. Super awesome. How about Outcast? Done by a guy named Kirkman. Maybe you've heard of him. He does a book called Walking Dead. How about Spawn? One of the coolest Image books of all time. Still rolling, still as awesome as ever. How cool is that cover? How about Divided States of Hysteria? This is your first issue, gotta have it, Image book of the week. This is by my main man, Howard Chaykin. Howard Chaykin, to say he's edgy and controversial doesn't come close. To say that, I don't know, he's up there with Garth Ennis and all those other guys who are shocking and awesome. I think this cover says it all. You're going to be hearing a lot about this, and if you don't know who Howard Chaykin is, you owe it to yourself to check out American Flag and Satellite Sam and anything he's ever done. Speaking of dark and edgy, here's Stray Bullets by my man David Lapham. This is another one of my favorite Image titles. This is another book that will keep you up at night. This is not for the faint of heart, but man, solid stories, great art. Just an amazing, amazing book, this Stray Bullets. And how about Eternal Empire? Yes, the Image hits just keep on coming. This is from Jonathan Luna, another one of my favorite creators these days. Another guy who has a ton of awesome titles in his repertoire. Check this book out. Check out all the other stuff they've done. If you don't have like 5 Image books on your list, you're missing out on some of the best books in comics. My other favorite publisher, one of them, is Dynamite. Let's go through a million awesome Dynamite titles. How about Game of Thrones #1? A few of you out there probably watch Game of Thrones. Maybe you want to check out the comic. Awesome stuff there. How about Kiss and Vampirella? Two of my favorite licenses of all time. I love me some Hottest Band in the Land. I love me some Vampirella. I love me some Dynamite team-ups. Great stuff. How about Ash versus the Army of Darkness? Much like Dark Horse, I'm always saying that Dynamite does a fantastic job with their licensed property stuff. If you're a fan of that thing, like Army of Darkness, you're going to love the comic. For example, James Bond, another fantastic license that Dynamite does an excellent job with. Much like Image, much like Dark Horse, if you don't have like 5 Dynamite books on your list, you're really missing out on something awesome. How about IDW? And my main man, John Byrne, doing some photo comics from the original Star Trek. Love me some Kirk and Spock. Love me some John Byrne. On and on I could go about this one. Or the Hasbro Hero Sourcebook. Another fantastic piece of work from IDW these days. It's one of those classic comic book encyclopedia kind of things where you can look up your favorite Hasbro heroes from G.I. Joe, Transformers, Micronauts, or one of the million other things that IDW does so awesome. How about Archie? Always encouraging you guys to have something like Riverdale or Sabrina or Afterlife or Reggie and Me or Jughead or one of the 19 awesome books that Archie's doing these days. If you haven't checked out the show, check out the show. It's really cool. I know it's a little embarrassing to watch a CW show, but suck it up. It's Archie. And how about some Valiant? This is the latest series from Magnus Robot Fighter. Loved me some Magnus back in the day. They're shaking it up a little bit these days, as the modern comics are wanting to do. Can't say enough about Valiant. Can't say enough about Magnus Robot Fighter. Check out some of the old stuff. Check out some of the later, or more modern Valiant stuff, I should say. And check out this one. Great stuff. Like I say, all the indie guys brought their A-game this week. Even with the all-ages stuff. Speaking of Archie, here's a giant collection of all the classic Sabrina comics from the 60s, 70s, and 80s in one giant tome. If you're a fan of witch characters like I am, you'll definitely want this one. Love me some Sabrina, some Scarlet Witch, some Zatanna. Good stuff. Harvey Hits! It's your first issue. You haven't seen Casper or any of the Casper guys around in a long time, like Lil Devil. If you don't know who Lil Devil is, you need to pick this one up. Have a laugh. How about Mighty Mouse, one of the greatest characters of all time?
Love me some Mighty Mouse, some Underdog. This is an Alex Ross cover. There's also a Neil Adams cover, a coloring book cover. Everybody loves Mighty Mouse. Fantastic to see him back in comics. Adventure Time. And My Little Pony. And last but not least, Ultimate Spider-Man. Yes, Marvel does an all-ages Spider book with all the Web Warriors guys taking on the Sinister Six. Marvel has a pretty wide line of all-ages books with this one and Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't talk them up too much, but they're definitely worth checking out. As I say, just a fantastic week. Tons of great titles. All the publishers brought great books this week. So make sure you check those shipping lists, get down to your local comic shop, pick up something super awesome. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at blackcatcomics.biz, check us out at Facebook, check out our YouTube channel, check out the podcast at soundcloud.com, or just get on down here to Rock and Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.